professional. Is it 6 inch? Is it 9 inch or 12 inch? He will give you a professional. I mean, they told you that one bag of cement, there is a quality for 23, that will ask 23 blocks, a quality for 34 blocks, a quality that also asks 46 blocks. There is a quality. The guy knows the measurement and everything. But as I'm talking to you, his children don't want to do that work. They don't like it. But this guy learned it from his grandfather. See him. Our people don't want to learn. If you go to Bayelsa, you get professional. We call it Kai Kai or Gogoro Sapla. I mean, you can feel the fever of the alcohol. Professional, they brew it. But today, you will not see young people doing that. What are they doing? They want to be in Agua roaming.
All right, Zion. So, if we're to take your word as credence or to have some credence, oh dear. Oh, I was going to ask him which of them he feels are the most reliable in Rivers State. It's a strong allegation there. I'm very sure some of our listeners who are on right now are in Yegua, are in Bayelsa, or are from Bayelsa. Is there any way you can corroborate, what the last caller just made mention of? Is there a way you can, send us a message? Let's get to find out if there is any truth to the last comments. As far back as I can tell, in all honesty, I can't remember meeting an Ijaw mechanic. An Ijaw man that was a mechanic. I honestly cannot. But that's not to say they are not in existence. They have to be. Good morning. All right. This one says the cobbler once again. Someone says, good morning, Jude. In this part of the country, a lot of people don't want to do those menial jobs. That's why you see people from other states being in that business. And shocking to them, those people are making a hell lot of money. I have to agree with you. A few years ago, I think just after the lockdown, right, a friend of mine wanted to make what they call these things, barbecue stand. Got to the supermarket, even saw some of the barbecue stands available, some small ones, and in the shops there they were being displayed, they were being tagged, pegged. Price was about 50 something thousand naira. It was very small, but this fellow got to see a welder along the road. I asked the welder, "Can you make this thing for me?" Welder says yes. Welder says, "You know what? Let me get you a sample of what it's going to look like." It was not as big as what was in the supermarket. It was bigger. And he paid 15,000 naira as opposed to 60 or was it 50,000 naira that was being displayed. I wouldn't say it was as well finished, but it was well painted. It was bigger. So it means he was going to be able to roast more fish, because he was into the fish business. Anyway, okay. All right. Jude, good morning. Even the teaching, most people reject. Is it teaching work among the artisans? Anna is asking. Wow. So when are we going to be employed? Even the government schools where there are no teachers, it's the responsibility of the private sector to employ teachers? Hannah is asking. Well, teachers don't fall under the line of artisans. I don't think they do. But we're talking about people who some would say maybe are the unskilled labor, but these days it takes a very great amount of skill to do those things. People go to school right now. Did you know that there is a training course, I think it's in Spain? Is it in Spain? I think it's in Spain, for welding. It cost $6,000 $6,000 to get yourself certified and trained to be a welder. I think it's a marine welder or something. Can't remember what it. Yeah, but it has to do with the oil and gas. $6,000. Well, let's find out from you. Jude, this is divine. To be honest, I'm into the construction. The people in Rivers origin are not in these types of jobs. But if you need the best quality, we use other Africans from other origins in construction. Whoa. Okay. That's divine. Divine is apparently corroborating that report. All right, more messages now. I want to read as many messages as I possibly can. Then I get to the phone line 070-0923-0923. Just bear with me, all right, so that we can get your views, because there's a lot of messages that are coming through this morning. All right, 070-0923-0923, 070-0923-0923. That is the smart number. The other numbers are available if you need them, if you have them, and you can just call, and I get to listen to you this morning. But let's get back to WhatsApp. I find this very interesting. All right, people from Benin Republic come to do POP ceilings and walls in Nigeria. I think they are the reasons why they are I think there's a reason why they are the best. That's West. Well, I don't know about the people. Okay, I'm hearing about this too now. See, I didn't know about this POP thing. I'm just hearing about this now. I've met some people who do POPs. In fact, I knew a young girl, whose job it was to make those POP ceilings a lot of people are crazy about. That's all she knew how to do. And she was in school. She was doing that. She was going to people's houses and making POP ceilings. And she was pretty good at it. And I know she was not from Benin Republic. Now, I'm not saying that this is not accurate. I'm only saying that I've seen some Nigerians who are good at it as well. But it's interesting that some of the people are sending these messages claim to be in the construction business, and they are swearing, interestingly, that it is the people from other African countries that are better at these kinds of jobs. Why? Okay, all right. Someone said the teachers the best jobs. Why do they reject it? Well, if you've been paying attention to the news in Nigeria recently, teachers have been owed salaries for a while. And then they also owe their gratuities and pension for a while. And sometimes they get slapped by parents. That has happened as well. So maybe these are the reasons why, some people, don't necessarily want to get into teaching profession. But I agree, it is a noble one. And I think there are a few things that give that much satisfaction as getting to see someone develop right before your very eyes. I think that's one of the perks of being a teacher. I have to admit, that has to be one of the perks. Because when I teach somebody how to do something and I see them do it and do it very well, there's a pride that, cannot be emulated or taken away from you, honestly speaking. All right, another one here says, hi G, good morning. In Port Harcourt, some of the best artisans have to be the electricians. They are not as bad as the masons or the mechanics, whom I think are the very worst. I took my car to the mechanic, and after one problem was fixed, the car came back with several problems. I have changed my mechanic. Many of them these days, you have to use 2 or 3 just to solve one problem in Port Harcourt. Well, I get that a lot, right? But I'd say I've been very fortunate because I've had very good experiences with mechanics in this Port Harcourt. I will not stop saying it. I was raised, taught how to drive by some of the best human beings who happen to be mechanics in this Port Harcourt. They used to, I think they still are at the mechanic village at Elekaya, Stadium Road, the Kensaro Wiwa Road, right? It's quite a wide stretch of line where they get there and they fix your car, right? Some of them have been there for over 30 years. A few of them, literally, from the electricians, the panabitas, the spray painters. I knew most of them. I knew them to their houses, right? I knew them to their house. I used to go to their houses sometimes just to sit down and just. I was pretty young then. Then they were. I don't know. Anyway, but needless to say, good mechanics, great mechanics still exist in Port Harcourt. Great mechanics, not just good. I mean great mechanics. I'm talking about mechanics who have tried their best to stay on point, to improve. In fact, one of them went back to school. One of the mechanics who taught me went back to school, right? And when, cars became more automated and you had to plug in your diagnostic tool, he was one of the first persons I got to see in Port Harcourt who had one. Still uses it to today. Now it's commonplace. But it goes beyond that. So these, in quote, artisans, these businesses that people frown out, are making good money. Do you know, for example, those of you who have BMW vehicles, right? I'm using as an example. It's a very technical vehicle. Do you know in the UK and the US, that company, BMW, actually trains mechanics and put them in the labor force. For every new model of car that comes through, they get them, they put them about on a 2 or 3 months training, if I'm not mistaken, and then boom, but they have to pay. That's why fixing those cars doesn't come particularly cheap. Some artisans, some mechanics have built houses. Some of you are patronizing them. You don't have land. I don't have land. So what am I saying? All right, moving on. 0809-030-6416. Jude, good morning. Our major problem around here in the Niger Delta is a mental one, right? And it is one of entitlement. From my observation growing up in Port Harcourt Township, we prefer to get a tip from projects, companies, and businesses, a real life experience. Building a project I was opportune to be involved in Port Harcourt, a man from the community told me that just ensure he gets his breakfast every day. We will work and nobody will stop the work. Question: what stops this same man from taking the whole carpentry or concrete on contract, irrespective of what he can do or not? He could get people to do it and make a lump sum of it. Omanate in Woji. Thank you very much. Good morning. Another reliable people are the bowl and fish vendors. I have to agree with this one. I totally have to agree with this one. The bowl and fish vendors, most of them on point. Some of them are not very great. In fact, one very good way to find out if somebody's bowl and fish is making sense, before you get to the stand, you should be able to perceive the aroma, of the sauce. If you don't perceive any, if the fish looks like it's already angry, my brother, please don't buy. But yes, there's some bowl and fish vendors. From your house back then, from the house, 12 o'clock, there's a spirit that calls out to you. Come to me, oh come to me. The fish is ready, spiced and ready. And then we use our 2 legs, get to the junction. Yes, so I agree with you. The vendors, bowl and fish vendors in Port Harcourt, pretty reliable. All right, this one says, I worked with my boss as a tiler. On one of our jobs, a contractor of ours from Akwa Ibom did POP in one of the bathrooms. But some misunderstanding happened between them and the owner of the house. The owner immediately employed a guy from Togo who came and did a beautiful work for the remaining part of the house, and it looked great. It wasn't a month until the other guy's work at the bathroom started to crack. But the work from the Togolese lasted a longer time. Interesting. Okay, good morning, Jude. Yes, the African artisans are better and in every building and construction site in Lagos. Really? The reason is because they are humble to learn and learn properly at institutions. But Nigerians only go for assistance and, in quotes, join men because of the Nigerian pride, dash with very little knowledge and mess up people's jobs and run off with your money. Ereboa with that comment. Oh, interesting. So strong accusations this morning. Okay, all right, moving on. And this one here says, some of the worst artisans in Port Harcourt are the mechanics. Once again, mechanics. Yeah, mechanics once again mentioned. I'm sorry, I don't know how many of you have gotten. Yeah, I can understand. I'll tell you a story about my own experience. But anyway, so yeah, the worst. So what about the most reliable in Port Harcourt? The most reliable in Port Harcourt. I'd like to get to hear from you. And more importantly, why does it seem like the very best hands are not from the Niger Delta? Clement is in Ada George. Clement, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Jude.
Good morning.
Talking about the most my number one is cart pushers.
Cart pushers?
The one we popularly call the wheelbarrow pushers.
Yes.
Honest people, sincere people.
Really?
If you forget your load or they miss your direction, go back to the park, especially the ones from the north. Go back to that park, you will get to see them again. Or the same position you saw them from, you will meet them there. And then you continue your trip again with them.
Wow.
Very reliable. My number two is, of course, the one we call Aboki Shoemaker.
The cobblers.
Especially the ones from the north again. Another reliable set of guys. your shoe will shine if you handle these people. Your leg will clean.
Mm.
Very reliable. Very reliable. So for me, those are my two top service providers, especially here in Port Harcourt. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. That's Clement. Clement says, well, it has to be the cart pushers. 903. Hello, Port Harcourt.
Yeah,
Good morning. Good morning, please.
Okay. I also want to add to what the last caller just said. My name is John.
Welcome, John.
I'm calling from Port Harcourt. Yeah. I think one of the most reliable set of service providers I've seen in Port Harcourt are those barrel pushers with either Nigeria Sagana market or Room market. If you give them your load and they need to direction, I can bet that person will do the download throughout the day. He will not go anywhere. He will not find in a position that he knows that he will come back and get it. Those guys are fantastic. I don't know how to reward them, but with this color also, I know they are not hearing it, but if you want to appreciate their effort, they are very good.
Hello. Oh dear. Well, I deeply appreciate your comments. Well, it does seem to have some credence in the two questions. One, of the credibility of some of these artisans, and two, there seems to be a general view that a lot of young people here don't want to get into some of these professions. And there's a killing, literally, in these spaces. If you find out how much a mason makes, I don't know. My name is Jude. Hello, Port Harcourt returns. Good morning.